Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach, and I don't know when I've been so excited about doing an interview. I've got 3 ladies here today. You can see one of them behind me here, and they are a mama and 2 sisters. So you want to tune in, you want to share this with your friends, because this is truly a triple transformation, and I'm so excited to share it. So here we go. I'm going to turn it around. And here, this is Christy, Mama Linda. I know you can't tell she's the mama. Doesn't she look like one of them? Seriously. Gosh, that is so amazing. And Danielle. So I think I'll start with Christy because it kind of started with Christy in April.
It was April, my birthday, yeah. April the 22nd.
That's
my
right.
42nd birthday, Mama. I'm
Yeah.
42nd. Woo. I started that day.
Okay, so Christy joined my 90-day challenge, and she did it now. The girl was eating, I don't know how she was getting up and going every day.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. I was probably drinking, when I say I had to buy a 12-pack of Coca-Colas every day, of canned Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
I did, because I drank about 8, at least I would drink about 8 to 10.
A day.
Coca-Colas a day.
Okay. Yeah. Don't you love that word, Coca-Cola? We were talking about that. That's a real South Georgia word. My mama used to say Coca-Colas, you know. I love it. Yeah. So we are here in South Georgia. This is where they live. We all live right down here in South Toombs County. Okay, so Christy started. She did cold turkey, really.
I did. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to do it. And it was hard, but I did, and I did put it down. I think a big part of it is being held accountable and knowing you have other people that's watching you too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it made a big difference. But it was hard. But that first challenge, I lost 28 pounds.
Right. Yep.
So.
And your goal was what?
My goal was 30. So
30, right.
I was right there at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally within a day or two, I had reached that
right.
when the challenge was done.
So Christy's got 4 kids, 4 teenagers. Is Braxton a teenager?
He's 13.
She has a 13-year-old son, special needs son, and so she's home all day. Food is right there in front of her, and you know she's cooking for them. Her husband cooks too, but you know she really had to make a commitment to have her own food, and she didn't like greens. I heard that a lot. I didn't like greens.
Very
picky.
Now that Dr. Berg's the pill that I ordered, that's the best thing.
Yeah, the super
ever.
greens.
I can do the super greens.
So she took the pills because she didn't like the greens. Are you eating some greens now? No, but you eat salad.
I eat salad.
Okay.
And, well, I have started. I always do a spinach salad instead
There
of
you
just a
go.
lettuce.
Okay.
Kind of
There you go.
I'm branching out.
She's branching out. There we go.
Yes,
I
she's
love
branching
that.
out.
Okay.
But,
all right. So 30
yes.
pounds, and then you started this Team 16 because you were in Team 15.
I did.
Team 16, and how much
I did.
more weight have you lost?
Well, I'm at a total of 40 pounds now, so
Okay.
I lost 12.
Great.
For this challenge.
Okay.
And my
many inches.
a lot of inches.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I went down many inches. Which is my favorite thing. I mean, I did have a bad relationship with food, but I also had a bad relationship with activity. I mean, I was a couch potato.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy exercising. I love walking.
Yeah.
You know, I love being on a routine. That's really helped me a lot too. You know, I know a lot of people don't like to do the same thing every day, but for me, I like it. It helps me to know what I'm going to do at what time every day. So
I want to key in on a couple of things here. You heard her say, I didn't think I could do it. I heard Danielle tell me that just a few minutes ago. What about you, Linda? Did you think you could do it?
Well, no, not really.
Okay, because you had tried
I have tried a little bit before, but I really wasn't interested, to tell you the truth, right at the beginning.
Okay.
I really wasn't. Christy had been on me, you know, Mom, you need to try this. It's wonderful, you know. She knew for my health-wise that I needed to try to get healthier and everything, but I kept telling her, you know, well, I'm enjoying watching, you know, Dr. Nancy and things and everything, and I'm thinking, okay, but she kept on after me until I said, you know what, I really can do this, and I need to do this.
Okay,
and
I want to dig into that a little bit, and the reason I do is And I get emotional because there's somebody out there that thinks they're okay, that they'll just be this way, and it's just too hard, and they really don't even want to try it. I mean, I've had a lot of people that way that are doing it for somebody else, and you know, you got to do it for you.
That's right.
I mean,
yes,
look at these ladies. I remember my first meeting with all of them, and I'll be honest with you, I had my doubts about it, that they would do it. I mean, I just, you know, when people come and you see their history and what all they've been through, and the other thing is having small children or children at home, it makes it harder. It really makes it harder. And so, not that I didn't think, well, here's the other thing. Once I found out that they were believers, that they had the Holy Spirit in them, you know, that was what was going to help them do it. And then, you know, I pray for my clients every day. So, you know, I don't know if you're out there, you're listening, you're not a believer, but it doesn't mean you have to be a believer to join this program. But having, you know, that along with prayer and the support.
That's right.
And then they had
Somebody
each
staying
other.
after you.
Yeah, and the two of y'all could see her doing it, and
That's
I'm sure
right.
y'all were shocked.
Oh, I was.
They were shocked that she did it.
I was super proud of Christy because I
Yeah.
knew her eating habits.
Yeah.
And I knew that I'm thinking, no, I just felt in myself, you know, I would not ever tell her that. But
Yeah.
I felt in myself, you know, no, she would never be able to do this. But she was successful.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, she kept on after me, and I'm thinking, okay, if she
Yeah.
can do it, I can do this too. And I knew
Yeah.
that I needed to. I needed to
Right.
do it.
Right.
You know, I
But
needed
you've been
to.
knowing you needed
but
to for
a
a long
long
time.
For a
So it
long
was
time.
She used a lot of
So-
excuses.
Yeah.
She's had knee surgeries,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that was
That's
bad.
right. Couldn't
Yeah.
exercise.
And she would use
But I
the
love
excuses.
walking.
She
Love
would use a lot
walking.
of excuses. I can't do that.
Right.
My knees hurt. My ankles hurt.
Yeah.
But I can. But I
Yeah.
can. I've learned I can
Yeah,
do it.
you can't. So I want to ask you, so with all of that against you, what you ate, having a special needs child, having a daughter about to go off to college, you know, all those things, you did it in spite of that. Can you kind of put your finger on one thing that was like, dang it, I'm gonna do this? What was it that got you started even on that first day?
The whole thing, it was Braxton.
Okay.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I was thinking
Because wait a minute, we had talked a year before.
that's right. We had.
And I was
We
like,
had-
oh my gosh, I really wish she would do it
We
because
had.
as a physical therapist, you know,
That's right.
Braxton weighs how much?
He's about 65 pounds
And
now.
so she's, you know, having to lift him. And when she called me, she said, I'm worried that I won't be able to take care of him. So that was your why.
That was mine.
And that's a strong why.
That was mine.
When
But
you
I
have
had
somebody
hit-
that depends on you, but
I
you
had
still have to do
that's
it for
right.
you.
And I had hit the point where I couldn't hardly pick him up off the couch because
Right.
he can't
Yeah.
help, you know.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, you know,
Yeah, what's going to
Jonathan,
happen? There you go.
you know, I
Yeah.
can't put him in the bathtub by
Right.
myself
Right.
because I
Yeah.
can't get him in and out.
Yeah.
And I said, that's
Yeah.
not going to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And that was really I wanted to do it. I wanted
Yeah.
to do it for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I had a lot of self-doubt because I've never been, up to this point, I've never been one that
You
would-
gave yourself excuses
That's
too.
right. I never been one
She
to
did.
finish what I
Right.
started.
Yeah,
I'm
there
one
you
of
go.
those. I'll
Yeah.
start something
Right. Me too. Yeah.
and I won't finish it. You can walk in my house and tell that I do that. I start and then I don't
But I
finish it.
bet you're finishing more things.
Oh,
now
I'm
that
doing.
you
Oh,
do
Oh
it.
my
yes.
gosh,
Yes,
a
she
lot
is.
better. You know, better. I don't know. You
It's
know,
like when you change that one thing and you
It
get
is.
power over it, it empowers you to do other
Mm-hmm.
things. Like once you do the nutrition and, you know, start cooking. And Leah and I talked about this in the interview yesterday. Then you're like, well, you know, I could balance my checkbook and
That's
maybe I could,
That's
you know,
right. Clean my
whatever.
closet out.
Clean
You
my
know,
closet.
Yes,
out.
that's
right. Yeah, there you go.
You know,
and keep it clean.
That's
yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right. And
There you go.
I don't know. It's just all the way around. The whole we talked about last time that we interviewed. You know, it's spiritual, it's
Yeah.
mental, it's physical.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
all the way around, you just feel so much better.
Better,
But
yeah,
also,
for
like we
sure.
talked about before, and them too. You know, I always pray about everything, and this
Yeah.
was no different. You
Right,
know,
yeah.
it was just kind of giving me the
That's right.
kick in the
Yeah.
that I needed to get started. But I was having my doubts on this one. I'm going to tell you the story.
Yeah.
But now I knew Danielle. She's very strong-willed. She's very determined.
Yeah.
She's very competitive.
She is.
But I remember you sitting right here after we talked and saying, I really wish my sister could do this. You know, because you saw this was even before you joined.
Because she'll tell you all this, but she was more down on herself.
Yeah.
Right.
And I knew if she had, for her, I knew she could do it, but for her, I knew she needed a group,
A plan.
of people, and somebody holding her accountable.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
and like your app on the phone where
encouragement.
you have to go in and say, when she goes in and says, okay, I did this today, I did, because she's not going to tell a story about it. It's going to be, she's going to do it, or she would do it.
And I'm
So-
competitive. At the beginning, she was ahead of me in points, and I'd call her and I'd be like, "Now, you better be truthful on this because you know I've been doing this every single day, and I'm fixing to pass you.
We just talked about it.
I'm gonna pass you on this thing," and I did.
There you
Just
go.
so everyone
There you
knows.
go. Okay.
I passed her.
All right, so we do have a prize for who gets the most points. I guess I'm not as competitive because I don't look at the points, but there are some people that are really watching those points because you get points every day in the app on your phone. Okay, so Danielle, tell a little bit about whatever you think you want to say.
Well, I'm with Mama. I really didn't think Christy was gonna do it. When she first started telling me about it, and she was already kind of encouraging me at that point to start doing it. And in my mind, I'm thinking she is not gonna give up Cokes for more than a couple weeks. Yeah, she's doing good now, but you know. But
Candy bars.
the more she done it, I was jealous.
Okay.
To be honest.
Well, there you go.
At the beginning.
I would have been too.
And I kept telling myself negative things because I
Yeah.
felt that way about myself.
Yeah.
And they're right. The best part to me of the program is the positive thinking.
Yeah.
Because anyone who knew me when I was younger can tell you I was overly confident in myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really was.
Yeah.
No one could tell me anything negative about myself because I was positive all the time. And when I started putting the weight on, and after my first child was born, I went through really bad postpartum depression, and I just couldn't get out of it.
Right.
And I kept making excuses for myself. I would blame other people. I would blame this program or that program. And then eventually I started blaming myself, and I just kept going into this dark hole, the forest that you talk about us having to turn around out of. I was in the forest. I was on the backside where the boogies are, because I was way in there. And it was constant negative thinking in my mind. And so when we first started, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But that's what helped me. The positive thinking, the affirmations that we had to tell ourselves, the meditation, hearing the other ladies on our Marco Polo saying positive things every day, even when we got on there and said something negative, that someone was always there to back you up and say something positive. And that's really what has kept me going on the program. I feel 1,000% better. I know I have a long way to go, but I'm excited to go there.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
you know
want to
what?
go back with the boogies.
I love to say progress is progress. And what Danielle's talking about, one of the illustrations, I have a lot of illustrations because, you know, everything, it can relate to a specific person at a specific time. And one of the stories or illustrations I give is it's like, okay, you were walking into the dark forest of obesity and poor health. And now you've turned around and you're walking out, and you might take a little detour, but you got to look toward that light, and you got to keep moving forward, because progress is progress. Another day that you haven't given up is progress. Another day, even if you eat a non-optimal food, you can get back on track. And so Danielle has lost
30 pounds so far.
in 60 days. So the program is 90 days. So usually I don't do interviews until the end. But when she posted that and I saw that, I was like, okay, I got to get y'all in here, and you too. So I'm like, so we're at 60 days. Plus, I'm launching a new challenge October 26th. And So I usually don't launch a challenge until the next one is done. But I just really felt like here we are, we're starting into the holidays, and here's what happens in October. I've been doing this now 4 years, and every year, including myself, we start focusing on food. It's like focusing on food, F, you know, and it's all, and so here comes Halloween, here comes Thanksgiving, here comes Christmas, and we start giving ourselves permission because it's the holiday to do the wrong thing, to do what doesn't serve us. And most people gain 15 pounds through the holidays. And then here comes January, I got to start over. So these ladies are going to go through the holidays. They're going to keep losing weight, or they're at least going to stay the same because they've got recipes, they've got support, they've got a better way. I mean, you know, it's a better way of doing it. And so you think about the Thanksgiving afternoons when you've just eaten all that stuff and you just feel terrible, and you really probably started eating a couple of days before because at school they're bringing all kinds of stuff, and you know, it's just a constant barrage of food. And so y'all are going to go through this holiday season. And I remember the first time we added a challenge in the holidays, I had 2 other coaches at the time, and they were like, I'm like, no, I think people won't do it because of the holidays. They're like, no, that is when people need to do it, because that's when you really beat yourself up, because you're supposed to be celebrating.
But when you start the challenge and you go into it, you become, because you're teaching and we're learning so much about ourselves, our bodies, what fuels our body. So when we're at Thanksgiving and you know we're looking at the food, what we're thinking is this food gonna serve me?
And it's one
So you're
meal
looking
instead
at
of a season.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're looking your relationships, what I call it. Your
Yeah, that's what
relationship
she
with food is different.
It is.
You're looking at that big spread and you're saying, okay, I can have some meat and I can have some, you know, a little bit of dressing. This is going to be my day. And I can have, but I'm not going to gorge myself because
But
I'm
before
not.
I didn't anyway.
Right.
You
Didn't
didn't think about it.
did
You
you?
just go in there.
Fixed
You
it,
know,
made it.
it wasn't even that wasn't part of the thinking. There's food. It's holiday. I'm eating.
Right.
But now it's I don't feel like I need to eat all the time anyway.
No, you don't.
So I just look at it different.
Yeah.
And I know, like with me too, as far as like with the food, about thinking about that, I just come to my mind about the girls that I work with, because I'm a teacher, and we had a work day here this past week, and they were saying, okay, well, Miss Bratton, you know, we know that you don't eat different things, you know, so what can you eat, you know, because we was all going to bring something to the meal, and they was aware that, you know, I've changed my eating habits, you know, and so those girls were willing to be sure that we had something there that I could enjoy too.
Good.
And it was, you know, it's easier to say no to certain things, you know, no, because I'm not going to feel good when I finish eating. When I eat this, I'm going to feel bad. And I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel good. I want to feel energized, and that's the way I do feel.
Did you ever, before this, relate how you felt to what you were eating?
I never thought about it before.
Wow.
But now I do, because now, like, I got to the point to being a teacher and you know, working with the children. And by the end of the day, I was exhausted. And I'm hearing some of the girls now saying, oh, I'm so exhausted. And I'm thinking, you know, and I try to tell them, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm way older than y'all are. And I still have energy, and I'm still able to get, and when I get home, I love the walking. I enjoy the grounding and all, and it's just my routine now. And I just love that, getting out there and getting to watch, you know, our videos that we have on there and catching up on those and getting that encouragement. And it just keeps, I can make another lap, And it is just unreal. It's just awesome. It really is.
And let me throw one
having
more
that
thing.
energy.
I just want to let y'all know, Danielle's not talking much, but we're going to do her interview just with her. Maybe later next week.
That's fine.
Because she's got a lot
Hard to
of
get a word in.
we like to talk a whole lot.
Like to talk.
But what I was going to mention though is about Danielle.
Yeah.
Talking about the different aspects.
Super proud of her.
Yeah, the different aspects of the program and how it works. One other thing is, because y'all didn't see Danielle or myself really when we first started, but we have our skin. It's really bad. We have rosacea, very bad.
Look at your skin.
Her
Yes.
skin has, I mean, she just, as a
Beautiful.
matter of
Look
fact,
at
over the weekend, I was with a friend, and she works with Danielle, and she was, we were talking about, I was telling her how much Danielle enjoyed working at the middle school, and she said, she's so sweet. She said, but we were just talking about how beautiful her skin was in the office the other day. If
Look
y'all
at
had
that.
seen her, you know, when she first started,
Yes.
rosacea was so bad.
Oh, it was
And that was
bad.
part of her
I
self-confidence,
remember you
too.
had it, and I remember, but
Uh-huh.
you got beautiful skin.
And hers
You
was
really
just,
do.
it had just started getting really, really bad, very
Yeah.
noticeable. And she would try to cover it up with makeup,
Yeah.
you know,
Made it
That's
worse.
hard.
and it made it worse.
Yeah, it did.
And now it's like, it's just gone. And I think she, you know, with her eating habits and her exercises, she's just cleaned her body out.
Yeah.
with
You
all
don't
that
realize
stuff.
how
cleansing.
much poison you've put in your
I
body.
know.
That's
You
right.
don't.
Even when you
do.
think you're eating healthy
Yeah.
and you look at the ingredients,
Right.
it was poison. It was
Yeah.
poison we were
Yeah.
putting in. And once all that gets
Start
flushed
cleaning
out,
out.
and then you start putting those organic whole foods, your body feels completely different.
Yeah.
And the
It's
water.
so much better.
Drinking the
Drinking
water.
the
Oh
water.
yeah, and it wasn't that hard to change to drinking water because I would drink Mountain Dews was my thing.
Really?
And I would be so thirsty at school and I'd have to have those
Yeah.
Mountain Dews. But I quit it cold turkey and was able to grab hold of the water. At first, it wasn't. I'm not gonna say a story. It was a little hard, but not
Right.
tremendously
Yeah,
that bad.
yeah. You weren't, like,
but now
running.
that's what I want is
Yeah,
water.
that's the
I mean,
first
that's
thing
what
I
you
grabbed.
want is
Yeah.
water. You know, and
your
I always have my
hair-
coffee.
All
you
y'all's
know.
hair looks so good. I mean, I know my hair. It thickened up. I'm like, gosh, my hair feels so much better, my skin and everything.
My
you know.
skin does
So,
feel better.
well, I do want to say this. She mentioned organics. You know, you get 20 to 40% more nutrition from an organic bell pepper than you do from a regular one. So I know it's $1 more, but when
Right.
you think about it, you're getting more for your money, and you're actually getting less for your money because you're not getting those toxins. And even just this past week, I read something that strawberries, you know, it's hard to find organic strawberries, and we don't eat many strawberries just because they do have more carbs. But strawberries they actually absorb the pesticides
Right.
into the berries, so you're literally putting that in your body.
That's
and
right.
you know, you think about a car, you'd never put trashy gas in your car. So there's so much to learn, and that, you know, once you know why you were feeling so bad, and that's what I try to teach you. I don't just say, don't eat this, don't eat that. I
Right.
actually show you why you don't eat
That's
that.
right.
And even like today, I was talking with one of the clients, and she's like, well, I have a low carb wrap once a week, and she was talking about she wasn't losing like she wanted to, and I'm like, you know, that's flour. And she's like, well, that's okay. I'm like, no, flour is made from wheat, which has gluten in it, which is toxic to your gut. And you want to heal your gut, because when you heal your gut is when your gut can produce all those good hormones. So what about y'all sleep? Is your sleep better?
Oh yes,
Much better.
much
Much
better.
better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we could just go on and on.
We could.
I fall asleep.
And I know for me, as we talked about a while ago, being a Christian and knowing, you know, that God is more pleased with me by
There you go.
looking and being more mindful. I'm mindful of Him. I'm mindful of the Holy Spirit living in me. I'm mindful of His direction in my life.
Yeah.
So now being more mindful in my physical body
Right,
by
yeah.
my food, you know, that's more pleasing unto God. And,
It
and
is.
that makes me feel good
Yeah.
that, you know, and I'm letting God lead me into my physical body to you know
Right.
that way too,
That's
because He
good.
wants us to be healthy.
Well, you know,
So we can do His work.
I do
you know.
want to say this. It's not God being more pleased with you, because God is pleased
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
He loves us regardless.
He
doesn't
loves us. He's not saying, you know, I like you better now that you.
Right.
But what it is you like yourself.
Right.
And you
I
can
feel
His love now that you like yourself.
That's
you can't
true.
feel His love when you don't like yourself.
That's right.
You can't, because there's this
That's
resistance.
clutter inside
Yeah,
of you.
yeah, you can't. It's like your child, when
That's
they do something
right.
wrong, they're going to hide. They're not going to come and say, love me. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, let me hide because I broke a vase or I did whatever, you know. And so now what you've done is you've opened up the channel to receive
That's right.
what He was offering anyway.
Anyway,
He's
that's
offering
right.
it anyway, you know. Okay, well, I think we've covered a lot, and I really appreciate y'all coming and doing this. There's
Thank you for
somebody,
having us.
there's somebody out there that this is gonna give them the courage to just call me, message
Definitely.
me.
Don't
Yeah.
wait. Go ahead and do it now.
And some of y'all, I know there's some of y'all on here. There's Leah. Share this video because honestly, it's a life or death. I would say it was life or death
It was.
for all of y'all.
Oh, yeah.
For all
It
three
was.
of them.
Yes,
And
definitely.
And you know,
Yeah.
if you think in your mind, 90 days, and I had to do this. I was focusing like Daniel was talking about the meditation. This is what I want to look like in 90 days.
There you go.
And if you think about it, time just goes by like
does.
that.
Right.
90 days is not that long
It's not.
of a
Right.
time period. You know, and you can
But
have
you did so much.
That's
in
what I was
those
gonna
90
say.
days.
You've got like when you look back and think, oh my God, that was just 3 months ago. I can't believe I looked like that.
with
Just 3 months ago,
But the
yeah.
other thing is you're an expert.
Oh yeah.
You know exactly what to
Yeah.
eat. The rest of your
You're
life,
mindful of it. All
the rest
time.
of your life, you're never gonna wonder what I'm supposed to eat.
That's right.
It's
You know
something
now.
you'll always know. You may go off of it, but you'll know. Okay, come this Monday, you know what? I'm gonna get back into ketosis. I'm gonna eat that good meat and those good vegetables. I'm going to avoid, you know. So it's not
right.
like a guessing game.
That's right.
you
Right.
know. So
And two,
so-
and if you don't get started, you're not going to never get
there
there.
you go.
So,
well,
you
let
know.
me ask you: you paid money to do this. Was it
Yes.
worth the money?
Oh, yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Okay, so there you go. So I know
Definitely.
there's
It's worth
people
it.
out there. Even a couple of days ago, I was on the phone with a girl. She goes, "I just don't know if I can afford it." I'm like, "You can't afford not to do it."
That's true.
She had 100 pounds to lose. I'm like, "You cannot afford not to do it because you know, like, how much were you spending every day on
Oh
Cokes?
gosh.
You know." And not
Chips
only
and
that,
candy
eating
bars.
out. You don't want to eat out because that food is not nourishing.
That's
you know,
right.
you know that. Gosh, that's not. I'm going to spend $20 and it's not going to for two of us, and it's not going to give me the nourishment that my body needs.
right.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'd
It's
almost
gonna
rather
make me
just
feel
come home
bad.
and eat nothing than
right.
go buy. You know,
And that's
some
another
food.
thing. I know we hadn't discussed this, but like Danielle has done phenomenal with fasting, and she
Oh,
loves
yeah.
it.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
She
I
loves it.
Tell me how you feel when you're fasting, and we'll get into that with your interview. But go ahead.
Yeah, energized.
Yeah.
You don't feel sluggish at the end of the day because my body's not having to burn off all of those calories and
Yeah.
things that I've taken
Right.
in all day. And I just feel energized at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
feel better. I sleep better when I fast.
Right.
I
Well,
usually
ladies.
do 24-hour fast. And but I just feel energized. I feel better about myself. I don't have guilt at the end of the day weighing me down either.
There you
Because
go.
a lot of the time when I was eating unhealthy, guilt came with that
Right.
at the end of the day, and that's not in the back of my mind because I know I was successful.
Yeah.
Proud of
from
yourself.
optimal.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I probably 15 years, 10 years, I can count on two hands how many times I can say, "Oh, I'm proud of myself today."
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
never proud of myself for anything, but this has been something that I'm like, I'm proud of myself.
There you go.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, Lord. But
Yeah. There you go.
And fasting, you would think that it'd be so hard, but it's not. It's
Well, like
not
today,
hard.
I
It's not
didn't
hard to
carry any
fast.
lunch. I worked, and I think we ate at 6 o'clock last night, and I'm going to eat at 6 o'clock again. And honestly, I didn't want any food.
That's right. You
know?
don't. It's
Sometimes I'll take
amazing that
these little beef sticks. I gave them these little gifts, but honestly, I leave it in the car.
Right. You're
Yeah.
not even
You know.
hungry.
because you're telling yourself, you're
You
the
know?
one telling yourself, "Oh, I got to eat, or I'm not gonna be able to go later today." You know, that's what it's what we do as
I
human.
know,
We just,
yeah.
but that's
It's-
what
it's
society's told
lunch.
us.
We got to eat at lunchtime,
It's
but
lunchtime,
you don't have
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I don't have
That's
to.
what
It's
Mama
not.
told us.
It's not hard.
You got to eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I think in my mind, and I laugh now about it because she knows better now. But when we were younger, it was always, "Have you ate today? You didn't eat lunch.
Now,
You
you
got
gotta
to
have
have
it.
lunch. That's
I
what's wrong
did.
with you. You
That's
got to
why-
have
yeah.
it." And so now when I'm fasting, I kind of smile to myself when I think about her telling me, "Well, you didn't eat lunch today,
I'd
did you?"
worry about them not eating, and I've learned it's good.
It's okay. You know, my little grandchildren, we're going to end, I promise we're going to end with this, but my little grandchildren, they get up in the morning, they're not hungry. They start playing, and Leah'll be, "Did you feed them, Mama?" I'm like, "No." "Mama, you hadn't fed them?" I'm like, "Look at them. Did they look like that?"
That's right.
I gave them some water, yeah. But they managed just fine because they are still running off of those calories they ate
That's
yesterday.
right.
Okay, well, I'm going to end it up here, but thank y'all. I look forward to seeing someone jump on here and say, it's me. I'm the one that needed this. And so we'll talk soon, and y'all have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.